The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hello 8th standard children, how are all of you? So, is there any change in your attitude, in the way you are studying, in the way you treat your elders, your parents? Have you become positive? See my dear children, change is an integral part of life. Change is inevitable. Avoid cheyan pattilla. In nature also you can see many changes occurring on its own, right? You can see the snow melting, the small seedlings turning into a tree. Do we do all that? No, they develop on their own, right? Small seedlings, they turn into plant on their own. Similarly, you were too young, now you have reached 8th standard. You could understand the changes in yourself, in your behavior, in your attitude. So as I said, changes are part and parcel of our life. We teachers also try to bring out positive changes in you. If a child is stubborn or adamant, a teacher focuses on changing that child's attitude towards a better, towards something better, towards positivity always. It can happen and it is sure to happen if a teacher really struggles for that. And it is not just the teacher who wishes to see the change, the child himself or herself should wish to bring out that change. Only then you all will grow into very good human beings, right? So today I have been speaking about changes because my lesson is also about chemical changes. Chemistry also you can see many changes. Nature you can see buds blooming into beautiful flowers. That is a natural phenomenon. Chemistry also many changes take place. Those changes are called as chemical changes. Now in this lesson we will study what are the different types of chemical changes. Now I have written on the board two changes, that is physical change and chemical change. You have already studied I think about this in 7th standard, but still I will tell you. Okay, so physical change and chemical change I have wrote on the board. You have learnt about this I hope in 7th standard. Now I will show you something, okay, which I have already learnt. Now this is paper, right? Now I am going to tear this paper. This is just to show you all what is happening. Now a change has taken place to this paper. Okay, when I tore this piece of paper, what am I getting again? I am getting pieces of paper. Did I get glass or diamonds after tearing this paper? No. I took paper originally. When I tore the paper, again I am getting pieces of paper. That means no new substance is formed. I am getting the original substance. What was there with me? Paper. After tearing also, I got paper. No new substance is formed. There is only change in the size and shape maybe. That is, the arrangement of molecules will change, that's all. Understood? So in physical change, the first difference is no new substance is formed. But if I burn this paper, will I get paper after I burn this? No. Will it be the same? I will get ash in my hand, right? After burning, what we get? It will be ash. It is a totally new substance the whole molecules have changed. So in chemical change, the first difference is new substance is formed. Okay. In physical change, no new substance is formed. But in chemical changes, new substance is formed. For example, now if I cut wood, original substance is wood. After cutting, will I get something else? No. If I cut wood, I'll again get pieces of wood. So no new substance is formed even after that change called cutting. But if I burn wood, yes, again I'll get ash. So I'll get a totally new substance. That is a chemical change. Okay? Understood? Then I'll tell you one more example. Now raw mangoes. After it ripens, can I again turn it to raw? Originally I had raw mango with me, pacha. After it ripens, will it be the same? Even if I wish to get it back, will I get it? No. If I try to get the original thing back, sometimes I will not get. Okay? But in the case of physical change, ice changing to water. If I wish, I can change that water again to ice. Ice was originally with me. It melts into water. I can cool that water again, I will get ice. That means the change was temporary. Okay? Ice water I can get it back. But in the case of chemical change, the change is permanent. I cannot get it back. So the second difference now is physical change is a temporary change. T-M-P-O-R-A-R-Y, temporary. But here in chemical change, it is permanent. Permanent varna pinna namukku onnum cheyan pattilla, fixed. Understood the meaning of temporary? Temporary means thalkaligamayittu, permanent varna ennennekkiyumayi fixed. Clear? So no new substance is formed. In chemical change, new substance will be formed. This is temporary, this is permanent. Okay? Understood? When I change ice into water, I can again get back the ice. Original substance തിരിച്ചു കിട്ടാൻ സാധ്യതയുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ that will come as a physical, that will fall under physical change column category. But if the change is permanent, I can't get back the original substance anangil, that is chemical. Okay? Understood? Now if you wish, you can write one more. This is reversible. Reversible nu parnal തിരിച്ചു കൊണ്ടുവരാൻ പറ്റും. And this is irreversible. I can't get it back. Okay? It is irreversible. I know you have studied all this last class. So, okay? So these are the three changes, and the examples here you can write. Cutting of wood. This is the example. Cutting of wood, and physical is cutting of wood. What about chemical? This is burning of wood. Okay. So I'll again tell you physical changes and chemical changes. Examples are given. Then there is a column. You yourself have to look into those examples and try to fill those columns. Now you have to try and do something on your own. Everything, it can't be spoon fed, okay? Just think these points. Our change. Now suppose they are given an example, explosion of crackers. Crackers പറഞ്ഞാൽ പടക്കം പൊട്ടും. പടക്കം പൊട്ടിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ആദ്യത്തെ പോലെ തിരിച്ചു കിട്ടുമോ? No, it is already turned into ash. So new substance ആയി കഴിഞ്ഞു, permanent ആണ്. We can't get the original substance back. Irreversible ആണ്. So that is chemical change. One more example. Milk turning to curd. പാല് തൈരായി കഴിഞ്ഞു. അതെന്ത് ചേഞ്ച് ആണ്? തൈരിനെ പിന്നെ എനിക്ക് ആദ്യത്തെ പോലെ പാലാക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ? ഇല്ല. So that is chemical change. Understood? Now suppose I tell you one more example. Breaking of glass. You have a glass bottle. If it has broken, what change is it? Is it physical or chemical? Glass ആയിരുന്നു. പൊട്ടിയപ്പോഴും ഗ്ലാസ് തന്നെയാണ്. സൈസും ഷേപ്പും മാറിയിട്ടല്ലേ ഉള്ളൂ. പുതിയ ഗ്ലാസ് പോയിട്ട് എന്താ സ്വർണ്ണമൊന്നും ആയിട്ടില്ലല്ലോ. ന്യൂ സബ്സ്റ്റൻസ് ഉണ്ടായിട്ടില്ലല്ലോ. ന്യൂ സബ്സ്റ്റൻസ് ഉണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല. ഗ്ലാസ് ചെറുതായിന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ. So that is physical. Understood? So again I tell you those examples. You have to think and then fill in the respective columns in the table that is shown here. Okay, understood about physical and chemical changes? These are the three differences. Okay, now I move on to the topic that is given in the next page. Everything in this lesson is about changes. Okay, now in the next page they have shown a beaker. In that beaker they have taken water, 3/4 of water. They have asked to put a small piece of sodium metal. Sodium is very soft. So now this is water. Water sodium ittu. Okay, sodium ittu kazhinjappo this will react with water and a new substance is formed. That substance you might have studied in the last standard, 7th standard, alkalis. Have you heard that word alkali? Yes. When a metal is dropped in water, we get the corresponding alkalis. Now suppose sodium metal I dropped in water, I get the corresponding alkali. Sodium ittappo corresponding I get sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. Okay. Now this is a major reaction. Beaker sodium ittu. Sodium ittu kazhinja udane will I get the sodium back? No. It has already changed to sodium hydroxide ആയിട്ട് മാറി. ഇപ്പോൾ ഇതിൽ sodium hydroxide ആണ്, hydrogen gas ഇങ്ങനെ മുകളിലോട്ട് വരും. Clear children? So this is a chemical change. Because sodium hydroxide is already formed, I can't get the sodium again. So this reaction is there in your textbook. They have shown it. Now here sodium I dropped in water, reaction takes place, sodium hydroxide is formed and hydrogen gas comes out. Now to this beaker they have asked us to add 2 drops of phenolphthalein. You know indicators, right? Phenolphthalein idilidumbo idoru base ആണ്. Base ആണെങ്കിൽ phenolphthalein ittal it changes to pink or dark pink in color. Dark pink ayal you should understand that this contains a base. But this figure is there in the textbook. Appo sodium vellathilittu I get corresponding alkali and hydrogen gas. Now here there is alkali and 2 drops of phenolphthalein. It becomes pink in color. Why did it turn pink? You have to write there in the exam if they ask you. One year they had asked this question. Because phenolphthalein is an acid-base indicator, when we add phenolphthalein to an alkali, that solution turns pink in color. Is it clear? Okay, now sodium ittappo we got sodium hydroxide. Now suppose I am adding potassium to water. I will get the corresponding hydroxide, that is potassium hydroxide, and again hydrogen gas. Metals ആണിത്. മെറ്റൽസിനെ വെള്ളത്തിലിടുമ്പോൾ corresponding hydroxide and hydrogen gas will be formed. Always it is like that. Copper ittal, copper plus water we get copper hydroxide. Okay. So whichever metal we are putting in water we get the corresponding hydroxide, and those hydroxides they are called as alkalis. Alkali. അറിയോ പഠിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടോ alkali? So when we drop phenolphthalein in an alkali, that solution turns pink. Acid ആണെങ്കിൽ phenolphthalein ഇട്ടാൽ ഒരു ചേഞ്ചും വരില്ല, കളർലെസ് ആയിരിക്കും. പക്ഷെ ബേസ് ആണെങ്കിൽ phenolphthalein ഒറ്റിച്ചാൽ 2 തുള്ളി മതി, the solution turns pink in color. Got it? This is very important. Metals വെള്ളത്തിലിടുമ്പോൾ we get the corresponding hydroxide. Zinc ആണ് വെള്ളത്തിലിട്ടാൽ zinc hydroxide and hydrogen gas. ഏത് മെറ്റൽ ആണോ അതിൻ്റെ hydroxide കിട്ടും and hydrogen gas. Now they have asked us to balance this reaction that is given in the textbook, and they have asked us to write the reactants and products. So reactants ഏതൊക്കെയാ? Write this down. Sodium and water. Products of sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Reactant column I think now you know what to write. Write this and this. Products column sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Now they have asked us to balance it. So children, you can write this. First you can write the table. Write down the examples properly. Next class I will discuss, don't worry. And then write this equation and then write the balanced equation. How to balance it? Adyam ee side na pova. This is sodium. Ivada sodium 1 ullu, ivadeyum 1 aanu. Sodium is balanced. Ivada hydrogen 2 atoms aanu. Ivada 3 aanu. So I said ivada ittondirna odd avum. So just try to put a 2 here, make it even. Appo 4 ആയി. Appo ivada 2 aanu, 4 ആക്കാൻ 2 ivada ചേർത്തിയാൽ മതി. So hydrogen is balanced. 2 hydrogen plus 2 4. Ivadeyum 2 into 2 4. Next is oxygen. Oxygen എത്രയാ? 2. ഇവിടെ എത്രയാണ്? 2. So this is now balanced equation. So write down this equation. Now this is not complete. Na എത്രയായി? 2 ആയി. So don't forget to add a 2 over here. Now it is balanced. Okay? So 2 Na, 2 Na. 4 hydrogen, 2 plus 2, 4 hydrogen. 2 oxygen. 2 into 1, 2 oxygen. This is a balanced equation. Write this in the file. Okay, now I am coming to the core of this lesson. Very, very important. You have to write it in the file so that you will be able to understand. Just a sort of flow chart, children. Flow chart poleyana. So first write chemical changes here. Changes nu matram ezhudanda. Write chemical changes. This is chemical changes, okay. First type of chemical change that they have given in this book is thermochemical changes. Thermochemical. Okay. Then the second one is photochemical. Don't worry, the pedikanda photochemical. Then the third one, electrochemical. Okay. Electrochemical changes. So chemical changes are of 3 types: thermochemical, photochemical and electrochemical. പേര് കേട്ടാൽ തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാം. Thermo means what? Thermometer, thermos flask. It is all related to what? Which energy? Heat energy. So thermochemical changes always related to heat energy. Photosynthesis നിങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. Light ആവശ്യമുണ്ട്. So photo means light. Here light energy will be involved in these type of changes, and in electrochemical, electrical energy will be involved. Okay. So again I repeat, chemical changes are of 3 types: thermochemical, photochemical and electrochemical. Thermochemical, the energy involved is heat. Photochemical, the energy involved is light. ഇവിടെ പേര് കണ്ടാൽ തന്നെ അറിയാം. Electrochemical, the energy involved is electrical energy. Don't forget this. Okay. Very, very important. All the chapters are important, but questions are asked from this topic. Okay. This is not over. Now there is one more subdivision in thermochemical. This you please write it down in your file. These thermochemical reactions are again of 2 types. The first one is exothermic. Don't think what the teacher is writing all about. I'll tell you, wait. And the second one is endothermic. Okay. So again chemical changes are of 3 types. Adile again thermochemical is subdivided into 2: exothermic, endothermic. You know, you might have studied in biology exoskeleton, endoskeleton. Exo means out, endo means in. Marakanda. Exo means out, endo means in. So what is this exo here? What is going out? What is going out? What will be the possibility? Now all these are changes and reactions. So exothermic reaction la heat energy will go out. Endothermic la heat energy will be taken in. Don't worry, I'll give you many examples. First write this in the file. Thermochemical, photochemical, electrochemical. Write the energies involved, and then thermochemical, THERMO, thermo, exothermic and endothermic. Clear? After writing, now I'll begin with the first type of reactions. What are these thermochemical changes, thermochemical reactions? Always related to heat. Okay, so now I move on to the first type of change, that is thermochemical reactions or thermochemical changes. Okay, thermochemical, in the book the first example given is about magnesium. Okay, take a test tube. In that we have to put a small magnesium strip, ചെറിയൊരു മാഗ്നീഷ്യത്തിൻ്റെ piece. To that we have to add hydrochloric acid. എന്താ ആഡ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത്? ഹൈഡ്രോക്ലോറിക് ആസിഡ്. ഇങ്ങനെ ആസിഡ് ഒഴിച്ചു. So when we pour acid over this metal, അങ്ങനെ നിൽക്കുക, ഒരു റിയാക്ഷൻ ഇല്ലാണ്ട്? നോ, ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കലി റിയാക്ഷൻ വിൽ ടേക്ക് പ്ലേസ്. സോ ടീച്ചർ എന്താണ് റിയാക്റ്റൻ്റ് ആയിട്ട് എടുത്തത്? മാഗ്നീഷ്യം പ്ലസ് hydrochloric acid. What do we get, children? We get magnesium chloride plus again hydrogen gas. മെറ്റൽ വെള്ളത്തിലിട്ടപ്പോഴും ഹൈഡ്രജൻ ആണ്, മെറ്റൽസ് ആസിഡിലിട്ടപ്പോഴും ഹൈഡ്രജൻ ഗ്യാസ് ആണ് വരിക. ഓക്കെ, ലിസൺ. അപ്പോൾ മാഗ്നീഷ്യം, I added hydrochloric acid, I get a salt and I get hydrogen plus one more thing is now formed, heat. ഹീറ്റ് ഉണ്ടായി. അതെങ്ങനെ മനസ്സിലാവുക? ഈ ടെസ്റ്റ് ട്യൂബിനെ തൊടുമ്പോൾ ചൂടായി. ആദ്യം ചൂടുണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല, കൂളായിട്ട് ടീച്ചർ ടെസ്റ്റ് ട്യൂബ് പിടിച്ചു, മാഗ്നീഷ്യം ഇട്ടു, അതിൽ ഹൈഡ്രോക്ലോറിക് ആസിഡ് ഒഴിച്ചു. അണ്ടർസ്റ്റുഡ്? ഒഴിച്ചപ്പോൾ what is formed? Now a salt, magnesium chloride is formed and hydrogen gas is gone. I mean it is evolved, it goes out, and when I touch the test tube it will be hot. ഈ ചൂട് തന്നെ പുറത്ത് വന്നതാണ് റിയാക്ഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട്. ഓക്കെ, നമ്മൾ ആദ്യം ടെസ്റ്റ് ട്യൂബ് ചൂടേയിരുന്നില്ല, കൂളായിട്ട് പിടിച്ച് ചെയ്യും. ബട്ട് ആഫ്റ്റർ ദ റിയാക്ഷൻ ദ ടെസ്റ്റ് ട്യൂബ് ബിക്കെയിം ഹോട്ട്. ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ഇൻ ദിസ് ചേഞ്ച്, ഇൻ ദിസ് റിയാക്ഷൻ, what was released, what was liberated? Heat is liberated. ഈ റിയാക്ഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ ഹീറ്റ് തന്നെ ലിബറേറ്റ് ആയി, റിലീസായി, തന്നെ ചൂടായി. സോ ദിസ് ഈസ് ഏത് ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് റിയാക്ഷൻ ആണെന്ന് അവർ ചോദിക്കും. സോ യു ഹാവ് ടു റൈറ്റ് thermochemical reaction, exothermic because heat is given out. ഹീറ്റ് തന്നെ പുറത്ത് വന്നു. ആദ്യം ഇത് ടെസ്റ്റ് ട്യൂബ് ചൂടുണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല. അണ്ടർസ്റ്റുഡ്? സോ വാട്ട് ഈസ് ദ ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് ദിസ് റിയാക്ഷൻ? തെർമോകെമിക്കൽ റിയാക്ഷൻ ആണ്. ബിക്കോസ് ഇതിൽ ഏത് എനർജിയാണ് ഇൻവോൾവ്? ദ ഹീറ്റ് എനർജി. ഹീറ്റ് ഇസ് കമ്മിങ് ഔട്ട്. ആൻഡ് തെർമോകെമിക്കൽ മാത്രമല്ല, ദിസ് ഈസ് exothermic because heat was given out. Exo പറഞ്ഞാൽ given out. Don't forget my dear children. Exo means out. എൻഡോ മീൻസ് ഇൻ. ഇതിൽ ചൂട് ഉള്ളിലേക്കൊന്നും എഴുത്തിട്ടില്ല, ചൂട് പുറത്തേക്ക് വന്നാണ് റിയാക്ഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട്. റിയാക്ഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ചൂട് പുറത്തേക്ക് വന്നാൽ എന്താണത്? തെർമോകെമിക്കൽ exothermic. Clear? Okay. Now I move on to the second example given in the textbook. Don't worry, it is very easy. Just remember. ആദ്യം ടീച്ചർ മാഗ്നീഷ്യം, ഹൈഡ്രോക്ലോറിക് ആസിഡ് I taught you. Now the second one. It is about a test tube. Again, our test tube violet colored potassium permanganate crystals. Violet colored ആണ് കേട്ടോ. പൊട്ടാഷ്യം പെർമാംഗനേറ്റിൻ്റെ ഫോർമുലയാണ് ഇത്. ഇസ് ദെയർ ഇൻ ദ ടെക്സ്റ്റ് ബുക്ക്. പൊട്ടാഷ്യം പെർമാംഗനേറ്റ് ക്രിസ്റ്റൽസിനെ ടീച്ചർ ഈ ടെസ്റ്റ് ട്യൂബിൽ ഇട്ടു. ടെസ്റ്റ് ട്യൂബിൽ ഇട്ടപ്പോൾ വെറും പൊട്ടാഷ്യം പെർമാംഗനേറ്റ് ടെസ്റ്റ് ട്യൂബാണ്. റിയാക്ഷൻ നടക്കുമോ? ഇല്ല. ഒന്നുമില്ല, എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒഴിക്കണം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഐ ഹാവ് ടു ക്യാരി ഔട്ട് സം ചേഞ്ച്, റൈറ്റ്? ഫസ്റ്റ് കേസ് ഐ ആഡഡ് ഹൈഡ്രോക്ലോറിക് ആസിഡ് ടു മാഗ്നീഷ്യം. വെറും മാഗ്നീഷ്യം എടുത്താൽ അത് ചേഞ്ച് ഉണ്ടാവുമോ? നോ. റിയാക്ഷൻ നടക്കണം എന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ വി ഹാവ് ടു പ്രൊവൈഡ് സം ചേഞ്ച് ടു ദാറ്റ് സബ്സ്റ്റൻസ്. സോ ഹിയർ ദിസ് ഇസ് പൊട്ടാഷ്യം പെർമാംഗനേറ്റ്. നൗ നോ റിയാക്ഷൻ ടേക്കിംഗ് പ്ലേസ്. ബട്ട് വെൻ ഐ ഹീറ്റ് ദിസ്, ഇതിന് ടീച്ചർ ഹീറ്റ് ഉള്ളിലേക്ക് കൊടുക്കുകയാണ്. വെൻ ഐ ഹീറ്റഡ് ദിസ് പൊട്ടാഷ്യം പെർമാംഗനേറ്റ്, this potassium permanganate will decompose. Potassium permanganate എന്തായി? Decompose ആയി. പറഞ്ഞാൽ അത് സ്പ്ലിറ്റ് ആവും. സ്പ്ലിറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് we get three substances: potassium manganate, plus manganese dioxide and oxygen gas. Clear? Understood? It breaks, decompose or split hour. Decompose or splitting, that you know. This test tube varade potassium permanganate eduthappോ no change. I provided heat, supply cheedu heat. Heat koduthappo endai? Appo it was happy, it decomposed. It decomposes into 3 products: potassium manganate, manganese dioxide and oxygen gas. This reaction il undavana main gas edana? Oxygen gas. How to prove that oxygen is coming out? Now I heated this. I told you 3 products are formed. 1 product is oxygen gas. Now this oxygen when I hold incense stick, suppose this is an incense stick. Incense stick nu parnal agarbatti. Okay, when I hold this incense stick, what happens? It flares up. Flare means aalikattu. Flare varna bright aayittu kattu. So you know, whenever a substance or a thing burns brightly, avade oxygen undu nalla artham. Oxygen gas ingane vanna karanam, this is a burn. I have burnt it, okay? Verde chandanathiri pidikkalla, katticha chandanathiriyana. A lighted incense stick. Burning incense stick. When I hold this burning incense stick, this flame parna tea aalikattum, it will flare up. Flaring up of that flame was because of oxygen. Again I repeat, potassium permanganate ne ചൂടാക്കിയപ്പോൾ മാത്രമേ റിയാക്ഷൻ നടന്നുള്ളൂ. അത് ഡീകമ്പോസ് ആയി 3 പ്രോഡക്ട്സ് ഉണ്ടായി. അതിലൊരു പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് ഓക്സിജൻ ആയിരുന്നു. ടു പ്രൂവ് ദാറ്റ് ഇറ്റ് വാസ് ഓക്സിജൻ, I held a burning incense stick. The flame flared up. Flare varnal, it burns brightly. Why did it burn brightly? Because of the presence of oxygen. So oxygen endengil adu flame bright aayittu katti. Understood? So here, this is which type of reaction? This is thermochemical reaction. Is it exo? Choodu porthu vanno? Illa. Choodu supply cheedu. So this is thermochemical exothermic. This is thermochemical, sorry, I'm really sorry. Thermochemical endothermic. Okay, once again, I supplied heat to this potassium permanganate. All the decomposition took place, oxygen came out, and I proved that it is oxygen because this flame started to burn brightly. So this is a thermochemical reaction and it is endothermic. Endo means heat ne ullilikku edukka. Thermo means related to heat. So heat ullilikku eduthu. Kando, heat ullilikku eduthappalana decompose aayadu. Aduvare onnum aayitilla, no change. So here heat was taken in. So this is thermochemical endothermic. Is it clear? Okay. Now one more example. One more example of thermochemical reaction that is given in the book, that is about neutralization. You have studied this, I hope, before. If not, I'll tell you what is neutralization. Neutralization is acid. This is very important, children. You can write it down in the file. Acid plus alkali gives salt plus water. You have to remember this throughout your lifetime. Salt plus water. Neutralization പറഞ്ഞാൽ ആസിഡും ആൽക്കലിയും റിയാക്ട് ആയിട്ട് ഒരു ന്യൂട്രൽ സബ്സ്റ്റൻസ് കിട്ടും. ആൻഡ് വാട്ടർ. ആസിഡ് പ്ലസ് ആൽക്കലി ഗീവ്സ് സോൾട്ട് പ്ലസ് വാട്ടർ. I request you to repeat this now in your mind, okay? Yes, I hope you all have repeated this. Acid plus alkali gives salt plus water. Now the example is hydrochloric acid plus sodium hydroxide. We get sodium chloride plus water. Okay? Acid plus alkali gives salt plus water. Now acid is hydrochloric acid, alkali is sodium hydroxide, sodium and chlorine together we get sodium chloride, remaining is water. Now acid and alkali together we get a neutral salt and water, so it is called as neutralization. Okay, very important. Now I'll take a beaker. this beaker has sodium hydroxide. Suppose I have taken sodium hydroxide. To this I have added hydrochloric acid. രണ്ടും കൂടെ മിക്സ് ആയി. I get sodium chloride salt. തന്നെ salt ഉണ്ടാവുകയാണ് and water is also formed. Reaction takes place automatically. We don't have to do anything. So ആസിഡും ആൽക്കലിയും കൂടെ മിക്സ് ആയപ്പോൾ തന്നെ സോൾട്ടും വാട്ടറും ഉണ്ടാവും. ഇതിൽ സോൾട്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ തങ്ങി നിൽക്കും, വാട്ടർ ഓൾസോ ഇസ് ഫോംഡ്. പിന്നെ ഈ ബീക്കർ വെൻ ഐ ടച്ച് ദിസ് ബീക്കർ ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി ഹോട്ട്. ആദ്യം ഹോട്ട് ആയിരുന്നില്ല, പിടിച്ചിട്ട് ടീച്ചർ എല്ലാം ഒഴിക്കാൻ പറ്റും നമുക്ക്. But after the reaction this beaker was hot. That means heat energy was given out. After the reaction heat പുറത്ത് വരികയാണ്. ഓക്കെ, ഹീറ്റ് പുറത്ത് വന്നപ്പോൾ എന്തായി? ദിസ് ഈസ് വിച്ച് ടൈപ്പ്? thermochemical. This is thermochemical. I have just written thermo, short form of thermochemical. You can understand that, I hope, suppose. Thermochemical, and this is exothermic. Now I know this T stands for thermochemical, right? I hope you all will know that. So ആദ്യം ബീക്കർ ചൂടായിരുന്നില്ല, റിയാക്ഷൻ കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ ചൂട് തന്നെ പുറത്ത് വരികയാണ്. So it is thermochemical, exothermic. So neutralization is an example of thermochemical exothermic. What is neutralization ചോദിച്ചാൽ ഇതാണ്. Acid plus alkali gives salt plus water. So chemical changes are of three types: thermochemical, photochemical, electrochemical. First example was magnesium plus hydrochloric acid. Test tube became hot because heat was given out, that is thermochemical exothermic. Again neutralization also exothermic because this beaker became hot. In between I taught you about potassium permanganate. There I supplied heat. Potassium permanganate is absorbing the heat. Here potassium permanganate, I supplied heat and then it decomposes to form three products. So that is thermochemical endothermic. Okay, so I will stop here because you are studying all this for the first time. Don't forget whatever I have taught you today. So changes, as I said, in our personality is very important for the better. Likewise, changes in chemistry are also very, very important, not just for gaining marks. You have to understand all this, because all this you will have to learn further in higher classes. So here I am stopping. That's all for now. Bye. Thank you.